Hi everyone, welcome to your weekly nutritional oracle card reading. If you haven't been here before, hello, my name is Erin. Welcome in. I'm glad that you found me and that you have decided to spend your valuable time joining in on this beautiful oracle card reading that we will be doing in just a moment. And if you are returning, welcome back. Thanks for coming back again and seeing what we have going on for this coming week. Looks like we'll be working with the week of December 7th through December 13th, 2020. Almost Christmas. I don't know. Put in the comments if you're excited about that. I have mixed feelings. I'm excited about it, but also I just feel like I'm very unprepared for it. I don't think we're going to get crazy this year, though. I think we're going to keep it kind of low key and focus mostly on just being grateful that we are able to be together. I get to have my mom and dad come over this year. I get to have my kids with me. I get to have my husband with me. So, and my cute little dog. So I think that's what we're going to focus on mostly, but we're still going to have a lot of fun. I am excited about it, actually. Now that I think about it, I am excited about it. It's just going to be a little different, and that's okay. All right, so weekly nutritional oracle card reading for December 7th through December 13th, 2020. I'm excited to see what we're going to hear. So if you want to subscribe because you haven't already, you can do that right now. You can ring the bell if you want to be notified when I come out with the new videos every Sunday. And you can even share it if you feel like somebody will benefit from the information that I will be giving right now, because we're going to get going for it. All right, let's do it. I'm excited to see what's happening. So we've had a lot of work that we've been doing for these past couple months. I hope you all are able to put some of the suggestions into your daily routines. This is the energy we're gonna be working with. Volcanoes. Okay, power of volcanoes. So this is the overall energy of the week. And number 9, and you know what, number 9 is going to be a good number for you to look into also. That just caught my eye. Probably either 9 is a number that resonates with some people, or maybe you're going to start saying the number 9 a lot. So Google that, because there's lots of information that you'll be able to gain from learning about the different numbers. So this is about letting old grudges go. Okay, so hurts that we've had from before. So the releasing last week differs from this release, because last week it was kind of like, where do you need to look into your life to release those grudges, to release what no longer serves you, right? So it wasn't quite as defined. This one is very much like, let the old grudges go. It's time. Your hurt needs to be able to release now, because it's done what it can do for you. Like, everything happens for a reason, and we all have our own experiences because it brings certain things to our lives that we need to know, right? Lessons that we need to learn. But then when it has served us, it's time to move on and to let that go. So it's okay if you have anger about grudges, it's okay. It's okay. We just want to have it in a healthy way, and we want to let it flow through us, right? Feel it, acknowledge it, let it flow through us, and that's the end of it. We don't want to hold on to it, because that is when we start having problems. All right, so I think that's great. So I like how this card here is now kind of diving a little deeper and getting a little bit more specific on an area. So if there were things that you think, there were things you were able to release last week, that's beautiful. But if you're still feeling like there's an area that you're having issues with, maybe look into seeing if there's some grudges that you have been holding on to that maybe you don't know, because sometimes they're not always at the surface, and it takes a little meditation, a little prayer, a little quiet time with ourselves, right, to be able to figure out where those grudges lie. Okay, so expect powerful change. This is going to be our moon energy, new moon eclipse. Wow. Okay, because there is an eclipse coming up, right? Okay. I can't remember the date. I've been looking at that because I've been trying to get more into the moon thing too, because I feel like it's important to know about the moon energy because, you know, it has a great impact on our feelings, on our beings in general. So I've been trying to learn more about that myself, pay more attention to the messages that the moon has for me and how I feel on certain times in the moon. So I've been keeping like a moon journal, and I haven't been doing it for very long, but it sure brings a lot of things to light. So since that popped into my head, I'm going to say that maybe if you've been thinking about keeping a journal for the moons, or if you've been doing rituals and things like that on the new moons and full moons, things like that, and you're trying to make sense of it, that maybe, you know, the journaling could probably help a lot to keep track of what you're feeling. And even if you want to start doing the rituals like the releasing or trying to do the manifestation of it, the things, your intentions, set your intentions. So I love this. Expect powerful change. So power is in both of these cards. So we're really going to be empowered this week, which is just amazing. Which is amazing, right? Who doesn't want to be in their power, right? This is telling us that, you know, we can have the outcomes that we want when we are trying to, if there's a certain situation that we are desiring a certain outcome of that, we can do that. We have the power to make our dreams come true. But there also is going to be, you know, you're going to have a time, right? There's, for some of us, it may be, maybe a little bit of a roller coaster, okay? So we're going to have to look into some things that may make us uncomfortable, or things that we didn't know about. And you know, that's just going to allow us to grow and to release the things we don't need, and to really find out how we go within ourselves and how we find the information that is inside of us that we need to access, so that we're able to make the changes we want for our lives to go in the direction that we want them to go into, so that we can experience those new things that we are interested in or have been really wanting to explore more of. So don't worry about the things that happened in the past. They happened for a reason. You're on the right path right now. You're headed where you need to go. And that is a powerful thing. And I'm very excited about that. So this is really powerful. This, like it says, it's a powerful change. Like, you are on the right path. You don't have to fear what happened before. You're heading towards your life purpose. The more we go through the things that we need to release and learn about ourselves and what we want, is the things that are going to propel us to be able to do what is in our highest good, and the things that we really want to make our dreams come true. This is like the start of it, right? We've been working on the beginning of it, but this is the point to where, I think last week, I thought we got like an in-between card, like we're trepidatious about something, and this is like, okay, this is it. This is where I'm finding my power. So that's exciting. Okay, so we're just gonna go ahead and do an animal spirit card also, just to kind of see if we can have a little more information on this week. So grasshopper spirit. We've gotten grasshopper spirit before. Take a leap of faith. Only this time grasshopper, he's in protection. So we're going to have a little good information come to us, some good advice, right? And I just wanted to point out too that we got 3 here. So we got 9, and can be 3, 3, 3. So lots of 3s. So maybe 3, 2, 9, and 3, maybe look into. It's also talking about being hurt in the past, that it is hard for you to trust that you can have the things that you want because of the hurt that you have felt in the past when you have taken a leap of faith, right? So you're having a hard time trusting, so this all makes perfect sense. Like, this couldn't make any more sense to me anyway. And I hope that it is resonating with you. So because of the fears that you've had in the past, you're questioning that you can trust that you'll be able to get what you want. So, and this is where listening to ourselves and supporting our body so that we can listen to it, take the time to know our bodies, is really going to help us to develop that intuition, right? So that we can have a connection to not only ourselves, but to everything, to source, right? So that we can access that to help us let go of the fears that we are facing when we really have to just jump, okay? All right, let's see if we'll just get a couple more oracle cards here just to see if we can get a little bit more information. Answer the call. What is your soul calling you to do? Okay, beautiful. What that you're being called, right? You've been looking for this transformation. You've been looking for your purpose. You're trying to find your joy, where you feel like you fit. What is your soul calling you to do? We have to get in touch with our intuition and with spirit so that we can have those divine inspirations, right? Beautiful. I love that. And then let's just do one more of these, just in case. Don't dim to fit in. They're all going to say exactly the same thing, right? Like, that is the message this week. Like, you are on your way. You need to listen to we all need to listen to our soul. We need to listen to our soul. We need to not let other people's power over us. We don't want other people to have power over us. We need to have the power within ourselves, and we do have that power within ourselves. We just need to take action on it and realize it and grab a hold of that. Okay, beautiful. So let's get a self-care card too, just so we can see what our bodies want this week. What does our body want to do, want to experience, want to feel? All right, journal. Okay, so probably that's why the journaling popped into my brain when I started talking about the moon. So journaling is going to be really important for you to kind of keep track. You write down the things that you feel. Do some meditation, or some prayer, or whatever. Go outside and get grounded. Whatever makes you get grounded and start to be able to go within yourself to quiet yourself so that you can hear what is going on inside of you. And then, ask questions. Are there grudges that I'm holding on to, or other areas that I need to release in order for me to access my intuition and make this powerful transformation to find my purpose, so that I could, and to hear, what's my soul calling me to do? If you don't know what your soul's calling you to do, like, there are a lot of people who are like, I know there's something that I have to do, but I just can't figure out what it is. This for me was key in starting to be able to figure that out. So journaling is going to be really important to do this week so that you can know those feelings, especially if you have not, right? And then we're going to nourish our temple. We've gotten this one before too. And I love this card also. So nourish your temple. We're going to want to do the things that take care of our body, obviously, that give us the best nutritional support. And it's body, mind, and spirit too. It's not just, like, this is not just for eating good food. It's doing things to care for your body, self-care things, doing things that make you happy. Yes, of course, nourishing your temple is eating good food. You want to give your body the best chance possible to be supported, and that's what we're all about. But you also need to, the journaling is going to help your mind and your soul and your emotions, right? We're going to want to put it all together so that we can be whole. And that's beautiful. I love it. So we're going to eat well, we're going to do the things that make us feel good, and we're going to journal so that we can find the answers that we need. to go ahead and take that leap of faith and make that powerful transformation. So I'm just going to do one advice card from the universe, just to give us a really great affirmation about the week so that we can feel good about these changes that are happening. And we have, the universe is always conspiring to support me, guide me, and lead me compassionately toward the highest good. And that is what we were talking about here. This is about finding your purpose and finding the highest good, right? The universe is always conspiring. I'm going to say it again. The universe is always conspiring to support me, guide me, and lead me compassionately toward the highest good. So we are going to compassion stands out to me. We're going to want to be compassionate. And yes, we want to be compassionate with others. But the first place to start with feeling compassion is for yourself, right? You have to be compassionate with yourself in order to be able to provide that for others and let that be of a service to others as well. So let's be compassionate, because that's going to offer you the most support and help you guide yourself. The compassion, right? You're going to need that to find the power. Okay, that is a beautiful reading. I love this. So I think I have enough information, and I'm going to go ahead and start getting down to the nitty gritty with the nutritional suggestions and the food suggestions so that we can make a plan to support our bodies the best way possible. Okay, so as far as nutritional advice and food suggestions go for this week, I'm really feeling the like the solar plexus, because we're looking at power, right? But also fire is the element that we're going to be working with too. So, and conveniently enough, right, the solar plexus, the element for that is fire. So I think that we need to focus on kind of where our power center is, and how we can do that nutritionally is by eating foods that we can look at the colors again, right? Yellow foods, red foods. Fire, the color is red. The solar plexus is yellow. We can combine those colors to make meals that are rich in nutrients that will help I'm going to move this over here for a minute. That can help us to get all the nutrients that we will need there. So the solar plexus is also, and the fire element as well, is the intestines. The small intestine. The small intestine is where we do most of the absorption for our nutrients when we eat our foods. So it's going to be important to follow those good digestive guidelines that, if you haven't seen the video, I did make a video on that. I'll link it in the notes so that you can see that if you haven't already and need a little further information on it. That will be good help for that will be very helpful for you to see, so you know kind of what I'm talking about. And also, so we're going to be looking at like bitter foods, Brussels sprouts, beans and seeds, dark leafy greens. Bitter foods help also aid in the absorption of nutrients. So that's going to be very helpful to eat those foods to give your small intestine some support so that you're able to get the most bang for your buck there, right? So we're going to focus really a whole lot on the small intestine area, making sure that we are absorbing our nutrients. So making sure that we're eating foods that will allow those nutrients to be absorbed well, and doing the practices that I talked about in the digestion video that will allow you to put your body, kind of your body, mind, and soul all together, that will allow your body to realize that it's supposed to be eating, it's supposed to be absorbing nutrients, and that's what's happening right now. Because when you don't follow good digestive guidelines, it's very easy to hurry up and eat a whole bunch of food, even if it's good food for you and you think that it's great, right? And that you're going to really be getting some nutritional benefit from you, and your body's not able to absorb it, digest it, any of those things, and it just ends up going right through you. So we want to make sure we're getting those good practices into play. That's going to be that's the number one nutritional piece of advice that I could give you, is to, if you haven't seen that digestion video, do it, because you're going to want to put those practices into play to make sure that your body's able to digest those nutrients properly, so that you are able to support your body the best that you can this week, okay? Also, along with these things is creativity, right? I talked about how the number 3 was really coming into play there, and kind of caught my eye, and that's like creative expression and self-expression. So I think along with that, those good digestive practices that I talked about, you're also going to want to try to be creative in the kitchen. Express yourself by doing new recipes that sound good to you. You don't always have to follow the norm. And just because somebody says you have to do things a certain way, well, no, you don't. You can do it how you want. Yeah, there are certain things that you need to follow or whatever, but there's little plays on things that you can do to make dishes your own. Put some joy into it. The element for fire is joy. So put some joy into cooking. Really make it a ritual, a practice that is something that allows you to create and really put your mark on your meals. That makes a big difference when you're cooking with love, when you're cooking with joy, when you have positive energy in the kitchen. Everything, all of that absorbs into what you're doing, and it really makes a big difference. Your attitude toward it is different. The way the food tastes is different. It's a big deal, and I think that you will really fully understand that once you're able to kind of like do it a couple times. If you're not familiar with going off the beaten path, so to speak, in the kitchen, it takes a few times. Don't get discouraged. This is a place to be creative and to have fun and to feel joy and put your love into something. And that's always a good thing. We talked about the bitter foods, right? Things like the Brussels sprouts. So I love Brussels sprouts. I chop them in half, wash them up. So here's some food suggestions for you. This can be a great side dish. I will eat this as a meal because I just love it so much. I chop them in half, wash them up, and I just fry them in the saute pan with some avocado oil. And after they're fried up nice, I put some bacon in there. I put some lemon zest in there, some cocoa aminos, salt and pepper, some garlic, some onion if you want to. I don't always do that because sometimes I just want to do it real fast. But onions and garlics would be good in that also. And if you're not familiar with cocoa aminos, I use that in place of soy sauce. I can't really eat soy sauce. It just doesn't agree with me. So if you're looking for an alternative to soy sauce, I love the cocoa aminos. Now, mind you, cocoa aminos do not taste like soy sauce, and they're way sweeter, but I don't know, it just works for me. And I can get mine at the local grocery store. I get mine at Costco whenever I can. So they're readily available, as far as I know. So then because it kind of makes a glaze on it, right? You fry it up a little bit, you get it nice and hot, and I put some lemon zest in there, squirt it with some lemon juice when I'm done, and it's excellent. I love it. It's one of my favorites. So, like I said, side dish or a meal. I'll eat it for a meal. And let's see. Persimmons are big right now. They're all over the place. I really like persimmons. They are so good in a salad, a dark leafy green salad, or like arugula or watercress. You can put some walnuts in there with that. Really, really good. Or chickpeas. Even you put chickpeas if you want to put like a protein in there with it. And if you eat meat, of course, you can either put meat in it for your protein, or you can have it on the side. Whichever you prefer there. So that would make a really good lunch or a good side dish. For breakfast, I would do a warm, like a stewed apples. And I always leave my peels on the apples, but you can take it off if you want to. It's just your preference. If you have an Instant Pot, makes it really easy and really fast to make them. And just do a search on the internet for stewed apples, or even applesauce. If you prefer applesauce, you can do that. And there'll be a whole bunch of recipes that you can look for, regardless if you have an Instant Pot or not. And I wouldn't try to put like a whole bunch of refined sugar in there and stuff. You can use alternatives like coconut sugar, maybe some honey if you wanted to do some honey, something like that. I wouldn't get crazy on the sugar. So you'll want to look for a more healthy version than the ones that put a ton of brown sugar and a ton of refined sugar in there, okay? And then I would use spices like cinnamon, clove, nutmeg. Those are all going to be really good spices for you to use that kind of coincide with the fire element. So that's fun too. And you know, 'tis the season for the apple pies and the pumpkin pies and all of those sorts of dishes. So everybody's using those spices right now anyways. You might as well put them in your breakfast in the morning, right? And eating that for breakfast is kind of desserty. So if you're not into the desserty kind of breakfast, then, you know, just use it for dessert. If you want a special treat, right? And then also for like snacks, I'm going to say my suggestion is to make a trail mix of pistachios, sunflower seeds, either dried goji berries, which I love goji berries, but if you don't know, I know a lot of people don't really care for them too much, so you could always use like a dried cranberry. Just beware of the ones that put a lot of additives and the fructose and the corn syrups and stuff like that. You'll want to be mindful of that. You want to get them so that they're unsweetened, or you sweeten them with your own kind of sweetener. You don't want to have the nasty corn syrup and stuff in them. So you can just mix those together to make you a trail mix. That's a beautiful thing. You can even put some oats in it if you tolerate oats okay, or in the gluten-free oats. You can toast that up and even make it be more of a granola if you're looking for like a granola. For meals, for like dinners, you could still do we've discussed a whole bunch about what kinds of meats and stuff are good, like chicken. Any kind of meat you want to eat is fine, as long as you're preparing it nicely. It's not deep fried in nasty oils and things like that. Then you're good to go with that, and just put one of those side dishes with it, and it's all good. All of these things you should also be able to prep, and I also did a prep video, so I'll link so you can see if there's any little tips or tricks on that will be helpful if you're not familiar with meal prep. But especially the trail mix / granola and the stewed apples are going to be great for meal prepping so that you have them on hand. And of course you can prepare your red lentils are great too. You can make a really beautiful red lentil soup. You can use quinoa if you do eat grains. Quinoa is great for you to have, that you can mix with almost anything. So those are a few food suggestions for you as far as recipes, and also foods that you can use to make recipes out of. And then just make sure that you are doing those digestive practices, being creative in the kitchen, being in the kitchen and cooking your food and nourishing yourself. I just think that's going to be really important, especially since we got the Nourish Your Temple card this week. I just think it's going to be really key to just, I don't know, kind of bringing everything together that we've been learning so far, and also for this week, maybe that's just something we're missing. We haven't really talked about being creative in the kitchen and stuff like that too much, as far as I can remember. I don't think we have. So I think that's going to be really important. And then that's going to give us, being able to do things like that in the kitchen really builds your confidence. At least it does for me. I know a lot of people that, that really builds your confidence to make a beautiful dish that is yours and yours alone, that you put your mark on. And it's, that's going to give you a sense of power too. And maybe that's just a thing you need to click it all together this week, right? You just need to be able to express yourself in the kitchen a little bit, okay? And don't forget the journaling. I think that's going to be really important. And I also kind of think this journaling card that came up, yes, I think that you need to use it for finding answers to questions that you have. That's a great resource. But I also feel like this is going back to like a food and mood journal. And I did do, there's a PDF that I have that's on one of the videos too, and I'll link that as well, that has a food and mood journal with it that you can download and use, and you can keep track of the foods that you eat, the way your body feels, and any symptoms that you have, good or bad, after you eat those meals. That will, if you're having trouble with certain foods and you're not sure which one they are, it will kind of let you see what's happening there. So I feel like we should also, some of us, not all of us, but some of us may want to look at doing a food and mood journal so that we can see if there's anything that is not setting with our bodies well. All right. And with that, I think that will pretty much do it. If you have any questions or comments, leave them in the comments below. Even if you just have anything supportive to say or beautiful to say to anybody who may need some uplifting words, feel free to leave those. I'm all for supportive people trying to, uplift others and serve others in that way. So feel free to do that. And if you would like to subscribe, go ahead and do that. You can push the subscribe button, ring the bell if you want to be notified when I put the video out on Sundays. Yeah. And just give it a like, thumbs up if you liked what you saw. All right. So with that, I will send you all healing and loving energy. I will wish you the best of weeks, and I will see you all again for our next segment next week. Have a good one, everybody. Bye now.